Wednesday morning on KSJE, and that means it's time for our weekly trip to the Encouragement Lab, and that is where Communications Professor Dr. Mike Hadaba is standing by, and as we can see, he is just getting away from his experiments in the lab this morning. Dr. Hadaba, good morning.
That's right. That's
wow.
Right.
Goggles and everything.
The eyes.
You do, but the lab is cooking this morning, I guess, huh?
Yeah, we're always cooking.
Okay, sounds great. And so this week, we're starting a bit of a series on listening, and I think we can all do a better job of that. And today, we are talking about investing more than time when it comes to listening, huh?
Exactly. So I was given a keynote not too long ago, and I gave it on listening, and one of the concepts is what I want to talk about today, and that is the fact that we have to invest more than our time when we're listening. A lot of people think that if they just give them their time, that's enough. But you have to invest more than that to be a good listener.
Interesting. All right. And so what more should we be investing, I suppose, I guess, unless we're not fully invested when we're listening to people with our time, but what would you say?
Well, there's the classic commercial, where the guy is sitting on the couch and his wife's talking, and after she talks, the bell goes off after 5 minutes, a celebration happens. And he's like, yay, I listened for 5 minutes.
Right, okay.
And for a lot of guys, that can be hard. But here's the deal, is I see a lot of people, and I coach a lot of leaders and couples, and they think that if they just invest the time into listening, then they've listened. The problem is listening's a little deeper than that. You have to invest your mind fully, not just hear what they're saying, but process it. And what they want to hear is they want to hear you repeat it back to them. Tell them what they've said. Say it in a different way. Nuance it so that they get it, so that they go, wow, this person really hears what I'm trying to say. And if you say it back and it's not what they're trying to say, let them tell it to you again. So that's what I mean by investing more than time. Listening's not just a time on the clock. It's saying I'm fully here and I want to fully understand what you're saying.
That's important. The understanding part and the repeating it back to the person so that they know that they're fully understood, as you have mentioned. And I guess just the old joke about the yes dear, while the guy's listening to the woman is the usual scenario, but that's not what we're talking about. They really have to get that into their brain and then spit it back out, I guess, to let the folks know that they understood what they were saying.
Exactly, and we're picking on the guys here. I've seen
yes.
women that do the same thing, maybe in a different way. But the reality is whether it's at work or whatever, investment is more than just saying I hear you. It's letting them truly be heard and saying I understand where you're at. Warren Buffett. People think all he does is go invest money into companies and they explode. Well, what makes Warren Buffett so successful as an investor is he actually does incredible amounts of research, and he knows the potential. He sees the holes in how they're doing their business model, and he invests in it, and then he goes and he makes the changes through his investment that he wants them to make, and boom, they become a successful company. So same thing with listening. If you invest in someone, what they're saying, then you can actually make them feel like you've improved heard, or they really want you to fix something. See, that's the problem too. A lot of people hear something and go, I need to fix that. Are you listening? Because maybe sometimes they just want to be heard and feel like they've shared their heart to you, and you go, wow, I see that you really shared your heart with me. That's what's important.
Right. And I would assume, too, that by, again, being able to repeat it back to the person who's telling you also helps eliminate a lot of misunderstandings and things like that if you didn't quite get the concept or get what the other person was trying to tell you.
And isn't that funny? Because what's funny is we think, if I say it back to them, it's almost like condescending or like I don't get it. But if you think about it, when someone tells you what you've just told them, we love that. We want to give them a hug and say, yes, you got me. So that's exactly what we want to do is repeat it back. And then if they say, well, that's not quite it, go then tell me what it is until you make sure you've understood.
All right. So when we're listening, just again, I think what you're saying, Dr. Hadaba, is we should repeat it back to the other person to make sure we understand what they've just told us.
Yeah. Be all in. Be all in when you're listening. Not just spend the time. Be all in.
All right. See what I did to you? I just did that to you. See, there you go.
Very good.
Dr. Hadaba, you're going to be actually here in a couple of days, right? You're going to be appearing at the Four Corners Conference. I want to put a plug in for that.
Next Thursday, I believe October 11th, I'm doing a seminar on listening. And so come and learn some of these skills, and we're going to have fun, and I'm going to tell some fun stories. So sign up, come to my conference. I'm doing it twice, and I'd love to see you there.
All right, at the Four Corners Conference. That's very true. So sounds great. Dr. Hadaba, thank you so much.
Take care.
All right. We'll see you back in the Encouragement Lab. That's Dr. Mike Hadaba here every Wednesday on KSJE Farmington.